Hello my lovelies, welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing a really fun, kind of warm, soft, smoky look using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Just ignore my bangs because they're in this weird in-between stage. But yeah, we're just going to jump right into it today, starting by priming our eyelids with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And I am taking this out farther than normal because I want this look to be very kind of really blown out, blended out, diffused kind of smoky eye. So I am pulling that out farther so that we can really get that good blend and not have to worry about messing it up with foundation or concealer later on when we do those. So once that's all blended out, I am going to set it down with just a little bit of the Coty Airspun powder as usual. And this is just to take away a little bit of the tackiness and to hopefully prevent our eyeshadows from I can't think of the word, like skipping, being patchy kind of thing. And then we are just jumping right into this really pretty burnt orange shade from the Modern Renaissance palette, which is Real Gar. And I am taking this on a little bit of a smaller fluffy brush and just really working it through the crease like I normally would. And we are taking this shade all the way inner corner to our outer corner. And like I said, it's going to be very kind of blown out diffused, so I am taking this just past the end of my brow. And I'm going to go ahead and connect it down, which is why we really wanted that concealer placed there so that we could get this really nice smooth blend. So I'm just pulling it kind of down from the corner of my eye and connecting it to the lower lash line, if that makes sense, so that everything is nice and blended out. And then I'm just going to take a clean brush to really diffuse the edges. Like I said, I want it really soft today, so we're going to be doing lots of blending. Once our kind of initial placement of our orange is done, I'm going to go ahead and lightly take the Cypress Umber shade, which is this really pretty dark brown. And it is worth mentioning that the eyeshadows in this palette are quite powdery, so if you don't want them to be really intense and have a lot of fallout, which I don't right now, make sure you're tapping your brush off. And I am just taking that shade all the way across the lid. And then once we have kind of our initial placement, I'm going to take a little bit more of a small tapered blending brush. And with this, I am going to start blending those two shades together in that crease area. And then once that is done, we are going to follow the same kind of shape we did with the orange, almost like the shape you would with a winged liner. Just pulling it up from my outer corner towards like where my brow would meet, if that makes sense. And then just connecting it across to my lid so that it, like I said, it kind of mimics that same shape as the orange, but just a little bit smaller. We're going to catch the other eye up really quick, and then this is where we're really building up the intensity of these shades. And I am not tapping off my brush here, which is why I did my eyes before my foundation, because I knew I would have fallout. But yeah, I'm just really building it up, using this as kind of a transition shade between what we had on our eye already. And it really is just like the most gorgeous burnt orange color. I'm obsessed with it, honestly. Once we have that all built up, I'm going to blend again a little bit so that we keep those soft edges. And then we are going to re-intensify the brown shade now that we've done the majority of our blending, and just build that up to a point that we like. We're going to move on to the face really quick and finish that up before we do the lower lash line as usual. Starting with the Touch in Sol No Pore Blown Primer, which I have not used in a while, and oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love it. It really is really good, and it's quite affordable too. And of course, just putting that kind of in my T-zone area, anywhere where I have visible pores, and then any excess I kind of blend out towards the edges of my face. And then I wanted to go for more of like a natural skin for this look, so I am using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. And I am just buffing that out with a brush, and this isn't the one I normally use, and it didn't do quite as good of a job as my other one. So once I have kind of my product placed and blended out for the most part, I am going to just go over it very lightly with a sponge, because there was a few brush marks. Then of course we have to have some concealer, because girl, I got some dark under eye circles. using the NYX Born to Glow concealer, which is my favorite one right now, I think. And I am not taking it quite up to the edge of the eyeshadow at first. I'm trying to make it as soft and blended as possible right there, but we are going to blend over top of that kind of line between where one ends and the other one starts, so no worries. And then because the rest of our face is kind of natural, I didn't want to have just like this weird brightness only under the eyes and across the nose, so I did put some concealer on my chin and on my forehead to kind of just pull it all together. And then of course we have to set everything down with the Air Spun powder again, of course, my very favorite. And then once everything is all set down, we're going to jump right back to the eyes with the Real Gar shade on that same brush, and we're going to follow where kind of our initial blend was and just pull it down along the bottom lash line and towards that inner corner. And then I'm going to take kind of a little small, I just forgot what it's called, like a little small kind of flat-ish dense brush, and buff that dark brown shade into the lash line because I want to have that kind of darkness under the eye as well, so that it, I don't know, ties it all together. And then once that is there, I am going to just blend it out with a little bit more of our orange shade to try and keep everything nice and blended. And then I wish I wouldn't have taken the brown in quite so far, I would say, because I wanted to put a little bit of this orange in there and it just caused a little bit of an issue with the blend. But also use a smaller brush than I just did because I saved doing my very inner corner concealer because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it yet. But I ended up having to clean up a little bit more than I would have liked, so use a smaller brush for that. So I am just taking a little brush with some concealer on it and cleaning up, but still leaving that just a little bit through the inner corner. And then once we're all concealed, we are going to go ahead and pop on our brow. Oh, this isn't a brow pencil, Lexi. I am putting a liner in my waterline, and I don't know if that's called your upper waterline, like up underneath your top lashes. Just because with a really smoky look like this, I do think it ties everything together, although it usually does upset my eyes, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go ahead and bronze now with the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Contour Palette. I'm just using the bronzer shade because, well, I guess I don't need a reason, but I'm just using the bronzer shade. And I am doing my typical places, so underneath the cheekbones. And then now that my bangs are back to the side, we're doing across the forehead and down the temples, of course. Gotta tie everything together and really bring the kind of color and structure back to the face. Then I am going to go in and just clean up this side a little bit. It was a little bit patchy and ended up going a little bit crazy. And then we will be adding a little bit to our nose. It was a little stronger than I would have liked, so I am just taking a clean buffing brush and just making sure everything is nice and blended out, no weird harsh lines. And now we're going to do our brows. And this is the Essence Micro Precise Brow Pencil from my Ulta video, and it honestly, guys, it's so soft. Like, it's almost a little bit too soft, but I am just going to fill in my brows, and this is like the first time I have done my brows in months, so I was a little rusty, but I think they turned out pretty good. I do have to say, like, I get that bangs also, like, frame your face and bring attention to your eyes, but I feel like eyebrows just do it on, like, a whole nother level, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm also thinking about making my brows more kind of flat, like that kind of really high flat arch. That's a horrible description. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and curl our lashes and then pop on some mascara, of course using my favorite, the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And then I'm a little ahead of myself here, but once that is all done, we are going to go ahead and pop on some false lashes. With a really kind of dark, smoky look like this, I feel like you really do need lashes to tie the look together. And I'm not doing my lashes yet. I am going to put on some blush from the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette. And these don't have shade names, but it's just the really kind of peachy, melony kind of shade. Just popping that from the apples of my cheeks up back towards my temples, and just buffing it out because it was a little bit strong. And then we are going to highlight with the MAC Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish, which is also one of my favorites. And we are just going to apply this in our typical areas, and I am pulling it up. I've been doing this recently. I don't know if I mention it though, but I do pull it up onto the temples so that it is kind of touching our eyeshadow. Yeah, just preference. And then, of course, on the nose, and then I'm adding some to the chin and forehead as well. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush with that same highlight and put it on the brow bone and on the inner corner. Now we're getting to lashes. I'm very ahead of myself in this video. These are the Amy June lashes in the style Judy. They're a really kind of like full all the way across big lash, so I thought they would be really good for this look. And then once our lashes are on, we are going to pop on our lip, which will be the Milk Makeup Kush Lip Balm in the shade Nug. And you guys, I love this. Like, I'll look back at pictures, a handful of pictures, and be like, what am I wearing here? And it's always this. Like, I'm obsessed with this. And that will be our finished look. And honestly, like, I'm obsessed. I am so ready for fall, if you guys couldn't tell. But yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you go so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if there is any videos you would like to see. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in my next one.